The new free-to-play PlayStation 4 title in Dauntless is off to an incredible start as it has amassed 5 million slayers following launch earlier this week, and this is across all platforms including PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One. But the great thing about the release of this game, and this is something we weren't expecting on launch day, is the fact that cross-platform play is available all across the board. That is incredible, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Also, Sony has unveiled their lineup of games for Japan's BitSummit 7 Indie Festival, and I want to go through the games that will be shown off. We're gonna get more gameplay of these titles, and I think you guys should be aware of them. Of course, these games aren't heavy hitters, big blockbusters. However, there are some compelling titles in there, so I want to go over that. Also, you guys know us, we always got to go over all of the great PlayStation 4 game deals available right now, and Target is running an awesome 20% off discount right now, and that's if you order with in-store pickup, so hopefully you guys have a Target near you, but you can snag some awesome game deals, so I'll go over those at the end of this video. First up, I was hyping up Dauntless for quite a while, but I really didn't think it would garner the traction that it has. We uploaded a video taking a look at everything about the game before you guys played. You guys watched it a bunch of times. Views on that did incredibly well, and I was surprised. I was like, man, there's actually a lot of clamoring, a lot of hype around Dauntless. And I think it's going to turn out to be a big game. And then when they announced that cross-platform play is going to be available from the get-go through Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and through PC on the Epic Game Store, it seemed like this game was building up a lot of steam. And best of all, you don't have to make any investment to actually play the game because it is a free-to-play title. All you have to do is download the game and you can try it out. So Phoenix Labs really outdid themselves with the launch of this game, and now we know that Dauntless has surpassed 5 million slayers following launch earlier this week. That is an incredible number, and I think it's been a gigantic success for a wide variety of reasons. First of all, unlike a lot of other free-to-play titles, Dauntless is the type of game where you can just look at it as a console gamer and be like, okay, that's a game I'll want to play. When some of the other free-to-play titles, they do seem to be more PC-centric experiences, and maybe it is a little bit of a hard sell. Although free-to-play titles have been doing really well on PlayStation 4, there are some free-to-play games that, as I mentioned, are a little bit more of a hard sell, and I kind of use that as a contradiction because, you know, selling a free-to-play game, that makes no sense, but you guys get the idea. Selling you to invest your time to actually play the game is what I mean. But Dauntless is one that I think a lot of you guys have just given the chance to just because all of those comparisons to Monster Hunter have been made, and Monster Hunter is such a big IP that some have just naturally gravitated towards Dauntless as you guys wait for Monster Hunter Iceborne. I saw that in the comments section quite a bit. This is a game to keep me busy while I wait for Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and what happened is a lot of people played the game and now they've gotten incredibly invested into it, and it looks like Phoenix Labs is only going to do a great job in keeping the game updated, so hopefully you guys remain invested. I also offer you this. Dauntless is a game that was released exclusively on the Epic Game Store. Of course, the majority of people on PC have the Epic Game Store to play Fortnite. Natural crossover right there, going from one free-to-play game to another. I don't know how big of an impact that had. I just offered that to you guys as one incentive of promotional material that Dauntless did have going for it in that natural connection, especially from a presentation style and a visual style. Those games aren't all too far off in terms of their visuals. Whatever the case may be, Dauntless is doing incredibly well. Let's see how that success persists, because we've seen before games like Apex Legends kicked off incredibly well and now it's tapered off a little bit. Is Dauntless gonna be a game that really persists through the summer, and a lot of people are trying it out? I think they got the release timing really well as well, because now you have all of these people with so much additional free time heading into their summer break. They're gonna want to invest into a new game. Dauntless being a free-to-play title, I think the timing just worked out really well. So Dauntless has a lot going for it right now. We'll monitor the success of the game going forward, but thus far it's done well. And do remember that Phoenix Labs is also looking to port Dauntless onto the Nintendo Switch as well as mobile phones. We don't have an idea on the release plans for those, but that should bolster the player base even more, so we'll see how it turns out. We'll see if Phoenix Labs can continue to make it a compelling experience, and that's how the player base is really going to persist, or is it going to taper off by the end of the summer? We'll find out soon enough, but right now it's doing incredibly well. Alright, moving on from that, Sony has unveiled the lineup of games for Japan's BitSummit 7 Spirits Indie Festival, and here are the PlayStation 4 games that are going to be showcased. Outside of this, there are going to be north of 100 games showcased, but we know that Anno Mutation is going to be there, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is very excited, Chrono Sword, Evo Tinction, that game looks awesome, Fist, Hardcore Mecha, which is coming from Arc System Works, Indivisible, which is coming from 505 Games and Lab Zero Games, In Nightmare, Knights and Bikes, Lethal League Blaze, No Straight Road, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, Watam, and West of Dead. A couple of PlayStation VR titles are also going to be there, Budget Cuts, Falcon Age, engage, focus on you, and throw anything. BitSummit 7 Spirits Indie Festival will be kicking off June 1st and conclude on June 2nd, so it's a short festival. However, do expect some new games to get showcased, and maybe we'll see some new gameplay of all of these titles as well. We'll keep you guys posted on the ones that look the best. Alright, and lastly, I do want to go over some great PlayStation 4 game deals right now. 7 game deals really caught my eye over on Target. They're running a promotion right now where if you go through in-store pickup, you can save 20% off on a litany of games, and one of the most interesting ones is the fact that Team Sonic Racing, which just came out, is already down to $33, and then you'll save an additional 20%. You end up getting it for what? Around $25 and change, and that's pretty incredible given that this game just came out. Now, it did release at a budget price point of $40, but still, you're talking about a game that released like a week ago, and now you're getting it for $25. That's pretty amazing. And Team Sonic Racing is a great kart racer. It's got a sizable amount of content to it, so definitely worth a look. A lot of fun to be had with this one, so definitely give it a look. Resident Evil 2 is also down to $32. It looks like they've knocked the MSRP of this down to $40, which is pretty cool. But Resident Evil 2, in my opinion, has been one of the best PlayStation 4 games of 2019 thus far. I would rank it around that number 2 to number 3 spot for me. In my personal opinion, the 3 best games have been Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry 5, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. You can really rearrange those any way you want. And I'm sure there are a couple of other titles that you guys would want to mention, but Resident Evil 2 is a great game. A little bit light on the content standpoint given the price that you're paying. However, it's filled with quality. You're talking about a quality-filled, 12 to 15 hour experience. If you're a fan of survival horror titles, it's definitely worth a pickup, and especially at this price point, I believe $32 is the cheapest that I've seen it for. So hit up your local Target, in-store pickup, $32 for that is great. Tales of Vesperia is also seeing a sizable discount. It's down to $24 and change after the 20% off discount. MSRP has been dropped down to $39.99, then Target dropped the price to $30.49, and now you have that 20% off discount, and you end up getting it for a great price, so I would highly recommend that. Tales of Vesperia is one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. It's very similar to all of the other Tales of games. They don't really differ from one another from a gameplay standpoint and presentation standpoint. However, the strength of the Tales of games really comes down to its characters and storytelling, and while I wouldn't say the story of Tales of Vesperia is absolutely revolutionary, the characters are so compelling, so engaging, so charming, and you have one of the best main characters a Tales of game has ever seen in Yuri. Honestly, one of the best main characters in a JRPG or any game in general. I just really dug Yuri's vibe. A nonchalant, level-headed main character, very different than your typical, hot-headed JRPG main character, so it's cool in that regard. And the gameplay and story, as always with the Tales of game, is relatively good. Content is pretty plentiful here as well. You're talking about a 60 to 70 hour experience, even more if you really want to do everything. So a lot of good with Tales of Vesperia, and at this price, definitely recommend that. Metro Exodus is down to $32, so that's a great price on that. This is, of course, getting some DLC relatively soon. I believe the first expansion is coming out sometime this summer. Second expansion is coming out early 2020. The case with this game is some will say that it's the weakest game in the Metro series. I probably wouldn't agree with that, but I probably would say it's the second. I would put Metro Last Light as the first, then Metro Exodus, then Metro 2033. Exodus still offers a lot to like, and if you want a narrative-driven first-person shooter with a great atmosphere, Metro Exodus is going to offer that, and now that you're not paying $60, but rather $32, it's a much more palatable pickup. When you talk about the best games of 2019 thus far, I think The Division 2 also ranks pretty high up there, and Target's got that for $45. 20% off knocks it down to $36, so this is without a doubt the best price I've seen on The Division 2 thus far, and being a Ubisoft title, no matter how quality-filled it is, and The Division 2 is quality-filled, and it continues to increase in quality, it's still gonna go on sale relatively quickly, and now you can already have it for $36. That's a great buy for The Division 2. Would highly recommend you guys to pick this game up with a couple of friends. That's how you're gonna have the best time possible. That is usually the case with any multiplayer game, but I feel like that goes doubly true for The Division 2. Again, this is a game that's been getting updated quite a bit. Ubisoft is going to stay committed to this one, just like they do with a majority of their multiplayer titles, so it's great to see Ubisoft making a lot of good moves this generation. I know for a while they weren't seen as the best publisher in the world, and they're still definitely not the best and everybody's favorite. However, I think recently they've been doing some really good stuff, and The Division 2 goes to show on that. Monster Hunter World is also down to $19.99. 20% off will knock it down to a measly $16. That is a great buy. Do note that they are releasing that complete version. It's going to release at a full $60, however, so that is a steep price point, but it will include Iceborne, which will be $40 alone, so that is something to be mindful of. Monster Hunter World is great, and if you want to jump in on the action, $16 for it is awesome. Of course, Dauntless is out right now as well, so you want to go with the free-to-play option, or do you want to go with the pay-to-play option? Obviously, Monster Hunter World does have a lot of quality in it. Capcom has thrown out so many free updates and so much free content that even though you're dropping $16 from the get-go, you are getting way more quality than $16 has any right for you you to be getting, so Monster Hunter World, absolutely recommend that if you've yet to check it out. And lastly, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is listed at $14. With that 20% off coupon, you'll get it for $11.20. Another hero-style game with a Dragon Quest skin on it. I thought it was pretty good. Not much more to say about that, but a good deal on it nonetheless. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, Dauntless is doing incredibly well, already amassing 5 million Slayers following launch earlier this week. Cross-platform play is there. I highly recommend you guys to jump in, play with a couple of buddies, and you're gonna have a good time. A lot of indie games are gonna be shown off at the BitSummit 7 Spirits Indie Festival, and a lot of great deals are available right now on Target. We'll leave links to everything in the description box below, and you can ship it to your local Target and then pick it up from there, but you can get some great deals right now. Again, Division 2 for 36, Tales of Vesperia for 25 and change, Team Sonic Racing for 25 and change, RE2 for 32. Those are some great deals. So that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.